Hashem, Boker Tov to everybody. We would like to continue our morning shiur. We left off on Chazon Ovadia volume Aleph, as we started together. Yaakov, remember we started from volume Aleph. New place, new volume, new beginning.
New beginning.
So we left off saying about the halacha. We said about leaving open fire, leaving food on open fire.
Right.
And what did we say? According to halacha, there is a machloket in the Gemara between Hanania and Chachamim. Hanania said you're allowed to leave partially cooked food on an open flame.
Right.
Doesn't matter if it's Shabbat morning or Friday night. He didn't specify. And Chachamim said no, it has to be fully cooked. And mitztamek veralo. The more you'll cook it, the worse it becomes.
That type of food.
That type of food you're allowed to leave on an open fire, according to Chachamim. And we brought a machloket between the Rishonim, between Rashi, Tosfot on one side, and Rif and Rambam on the other side. That Rashi and Tosfot said halacha like Hanania, the lenient opinion. That if it is 50% cooked, partially cooked is 50%. Machal ben Drosai, you're allowed to leave it on an open flame. However, the Rif and Rambam says no, halacha like Chachamim, that it has to be fully cooked, and it has to be type of food that the more you cook it, the worse it becomes. This type of food you're allowed to. But to leave it on an open fire, osvo, chamin, shchina that the Moroccans have, this type of things, that the more you cook it, the better it becomes. Not allowed to live on an open fire on Friday. This is the Rif and the Rambam based on Chachamim. Thanks to Yaakov, my talit is very beautiful and clean. God bless you, Yaakov. Thank you. You did a great job.
They did a great job.
You were a loyal shaliach, person that it is through him came out to be something good.
I have a share in it too every time you wear.
Of course. Yeah, every second, yeah, I wear.
So don't take it off all day.
Okay, so now we said that halacha like Chachamim said the Rif and the Rambam. So therefore, you must have a fire covered. Remember?
That's right.
And now, how the Shulchan Aruch Paskin, obviously, like two pillars of halacha, which is the Chachamim.
Right.
And therefore, you're not allowed, says the Rif and the Rambam, to leave osvo on an open fire.
Correct. It has to be close fire.
That was in Siman 253.
Correct.
Remember? However, in Siman 254, Maran says you're allowed to leave fruits on next to the pot when the pot is left on an open fire. And the fruits are going to get roasted.
Roasted.
Right? Says the halacha. Why? Because the fruits are edible the way they are.
Right. No.
So since it's already edible, the fact that you're improving that ability of eating, it tastes better, no problem. Remember that? That was in the Siman later, 254.
Right.
Now, question is, if that the reason is because it's already somewhat edible, that was the reason Hanania gave, which Rashi and Tosfot Paskin according. If it's somewhat edible, you're allowed to leave it on it and let it cook more. That's the reason Rashi and Tosafot gave for Hanania. So Maran in Siman 253 Paskin like Chachamim, and in Siman 254 he says, oh, you're allowed to leave it on open flame. Sounds like a Paskin Hanania.
Right.
So some opinions hold. So Be'emet is not a machloket. 253 talking about cooking.
Cooking that type of food.
254 talks about roasting. Why roasting is more lenient? Because roasting, you're not going to come and poke the fire. The logic of it doesn't make sense because whoever roasting knows that high flame burns the food.
Right.
And you don't want the food to be burned. You want the food to be cooked. Because of that, says the Mishnah Brura and others, they say, Maran never retracted. 253 talks about cooking laws on an open fire. 254 talks about roasting laws on an open fire. Before Shabbat, you leave it to be roasted, then it's okay. But before Shabbat, leave it to on an open fire to be cooked. That's not okay. Remember? Comes Rabbi Ovadia Yosef and says, true, there is a way to speak like that, but there is another way to explain also Maran, that says Maran retracted. And why Maran would retract? This is because the machloket in the Rishonim is in the Rabbanan. And Safek the Rabbanan, lekula. That's one answer. Even if you want to argue with that answer, which is, okay, it's normal to argue on that answer, he says there is another reason Why is it allowed? Because maybe halacha is like Rabbi Ishaya Harishon. Rabbi Ishaya Harishon says the whole problem of leaving food on the open fire, shihiyah, is only for nighttime.
Overnight, night,
But if it's food that you don't eat at nighttime, you're eating it on daytime, in the morning. In such a case, there is no problem of shihiyah.
When it comes to roasting or
כן?
cooking?
מאיר, בוא תאכל משהו.
זה מוזכר טבעי?
כן.
When it comes
יש
to
ביצים פה, יש סלט.
so it's no problem.
הבגל מזונות, הוא מתוק.
לא, אני לא יכול.
No problem roasting. They did daytime or cooking.
So Rabbi, it doesn't matter, roasting, cooking, Rabbi Shaya Rishon says the whole problem of living on an open fire, זה רק בשביל הלילה, בשביל היום, daytime, no problem.
Why?
Why? Because people push their mind away from it. You're not going to go all night and check on the fire every single second and poke it. You push your mind away from it.
Correct. Nighttime, but daytime.
So therefore you're leaving it on open fire, mutar.
This is according to
Rabbi Shaya Rishon.
Rabbi Shlomo.
And there's many Rishonim
I agree.
that go with him, Rabbi Shaya Rishon.
האדמה.
Amen. הבנת?
Okay, so.
So Ovadia Yosef says right now we have a safek sveka. Maybe you're allowed to leave food on an open fire if it is machal ben drosai, 50% cooked or more. You're allowed to. And even if you're going to say, don't varich. אמר כל העם אמן.
שהכל נהיה בדום.
Amen. This is tafel. If you have salad, that is adama. And inside you have avocado. Or you have inside cheese or something like that, pate cheese or olives or whatever it is, different things. That's comes to be part of the salad. So therefore, you don't need to say separate.
כן, אבל זה טפל, נכון, אבל הוא בפני עצמו. עדיין?
אפילו.
זה לא חצי זית או רבע זית.
Yeah.
שלם.
Gemara says in Masechet Brachot Daf Mem Daled, a person ate salty fish. He said bracha שהכל נהיה בדברו. Salty.
וואו.
אחר כך, he feels so salty, he goes ahead and he eats piece of bread. Separate. Separate, אפילו לא mixed. Does he say bracha המוציא לחם מן הארץ on the bread or no? Does the Gemara? No. Because what do you want to eat right now? The fish. Fish is the ikar. What is the bread for? Bread is, by the way, is to balance the salt. So you see that's something that it is even totally separated. We still have the rule of ikar v'tafel. Ikar is the fish, secondary is bread. Rabbi, bread can be secondary. Lechem, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Yeah.
Secondary. It's called tafel. כל שיש עיקר וטפל מברך על העיקר, הוא פותר את הטפל. הבנתם? Got it? Very good. If so, says Ovadia right now, a person wants to leave food on an open fire for Shabbat morning. Open fire. Is he allowed or no? What did we learn?
I would say yes.
Meir John. Says Ovadia Yosef, we have a double doubt. Maybe halacha Meir like Hanania. What did Hanania say? You're allowed to leave food on an open fire as long as it machal ben drosai 50% cooked.
And you can heat it up on.
And even if you're going to say, listen, but maybe halacha is like Rif and Rambam, that passing like Chachamim, it has to be 100% cooked, מבושל כל צורכו, and it has to be מסתמק ורע לו, this is מסתמק וטוב לו, the osvo, the chamin is מסתמק וטוב לו, so you're not allowed to leave it on an open fire. Says Ovadia, maybe the whole restriction on living on an open fire only applies for night time, like Rabbeinu Shaya holds. But for the daytime, it does not apply the restriction. So therefore, you're allowed to leave food, osvo, or chamin, on an open fire on Friday and eat that food on Shabbat morning. But you will not be allowed to stir the pot.
Right.
And you're also not allowed to open the pot and close the pot as long as it's not fully cooked.
Oh, that's fine.
Open fire.
When it's an open fire or closed fire, it doesn't matter. בית, ברוכים הבאים, בוקר טוב.
מה העניין של בוקר?
שינה, תקרא את קונה.
Talking in English?
English.
English. Only English and Russian.
Good.
And Bukhari.
Thank you.
Meir, you got it or no?
Whatever you want, English, Russia, Bukhalski.
רגע, למה זה משתנה מבוקר וערב?
So before you came, we said, no problem, I'll repeat. Because the whole problem of Shema Yechateh, maybe you're going to poke the coals, applied logically, applies only at nighttime. Why? Why would a person poke coals? Because he wants the fire.
More fire.
Let's go. I'm in a rush. I need to serve the food for the people. But whenever the food, you're going to put it till the morning, you're not going to wake up every time in the middle of the night. Let me make the fire bigger. You need to sleep. So people push their mind away from this. Masiach da'ato mimenu. That's the logic Rabbi Yishaya Rishon says. Because of that, says Ovadia, a person will be allowed to leave it on an open fire. You go to some vacation, Miami, Aruba, somewhere you went, you come over there, Ibi plata, I don't have plata, I some broma. What do I do?
Put on open fire.
Open fire. What should I do? Can I leave it on open fire or no? Says Ovadia, how long it takes for the osvo, for the hamin to cook? How long? How much time?
overnight.
No. To cook, to be edible.
To cook.
Just enough of it.
What do you have inside the osvo in the hamid? What do you have? Meat, rice, potatoes, sweet, beans.
Tomato.
How long the longest thing over there gets cooked?
15 minutes.
1 hour.
Meat, 1 hour. Half an hour before Shabbat, you put it on the fire. It's already 50% cooked. That's what the Chazon says. You calculating the percentage by the time. How much time it takes?
1 hour.
Split the 50%. That's the time you need to put it on the fire before Shabbat, and then you can continue leaving it on Shabbat on the open fire.
But if I took it off, so it's gonna
If you took it off, you will not be allowed to put it back on the fire. That's called another problem, chazara. Chazara, it's another problem. Return on an open fire, problem. If you want to return, cover it. Put falga, put the oil, aluminum foil, and you're good.
Yeah.
Can you cover the Shabbat or no? On Shabbat itself, can you cover or no?
it's moving the fire.
Huh?
Fix it.
So according to halacha, you're allowed to. A person is allowed to cover the fire,
fire.
cover the fire by Shabbat, as long as it's not for sure that the metal is going to become red hot. Blech. Red hot. I'm not talking. You should know that many of our aluminum, especially the quality one, it's treated that it should not burn.
So what that would be.
I'm talking from experience. Bemet. Person left it on the open fire, nothing happened to it.
Correct.
Regular aluminum, he bought it from Costco, the thick one. The quality one doesn't burn. Open fire doesn't burn. It stays. Treated. It's a special one. It's treated.
So what that.
So Beshabbat, let's say a person wants to reap. We said you're allowed to reap it if you do like this. You don't cut a special line. No, do mechatef. You do it like this. Bechor, remember, you're allowed to reap the falga. If you have a roll, you're allowed to go like that
In an abnormal
with your
way.
fingers and poke it.
Where? Shabat?
No, to take that to cover the fire.
Yeah.
In an
And
abnormal
since it's
way.
maybe gonna become red hot, maybe not, it's called safek pasik reshe. Safek pasik reshe, we allow. Got it? That's why if Daniel went on vacation, you're allowed to cover the fire, Rosh Hashanah. But I'll tell you this. But I'm
sorry?
What's your name?
Mishael.
Mishael. Merechi. Mishael.
Yeah.
On Shabbat, one of the things we're not allowed to do is we're not allowed to cook metal. One of the 39 laws on Shabbat is we're not allowed to cook. They didn't bring me coffee yet. Waiting for the coffee. My cup is here, Bechot.
Milk sugar, how many spoons?
One sugar.
One sugar, how many coffee?
One.
One.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Jordan.
One, cooking metal is also not allowed b'Shabbat. What's considered to be cooking metal? Only whenever it's going to become red hot, glowing. You ever saw metal hot red? That's considered to be cooking the metal. If it doesn't get so hot, so red, it's not considered to be cooking. Even though it's going to become hot, more stronger, it's agon. fire. But the zak can still be cooking it. Cooking is only whenever it becomes red hot. So one guy went to Miami, and over there was glass top. They didn't have gas. Electricity, glass top. He called me, he said, Rabbi, it's a plata gatovet. It's covered with the glass. Told him, no, Jonah, this is not considered to be covered. Why? I said, what's the whole idea of covering the fire? Why we put plata, we cover the fire? Why we do that for? Because we need to make a change from the weekday. Weekday, you cover the fire or you cook on open fire? Open fire. Who covers the fire during the week? On Shabbat, you gotta make a change. Thank you. God bless. Thank you.
How many check?
Piva?
Piva. Bechor makes coffee and piva together. 2 for 1 price. שהכל. ברשות מוריי ורבותיי,
שמיים!
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
אמן.
Thank you, Bechor. So now, Bechor, this guy during the week, does he cook on this glass top or no?
Yeah.
In Miami, during the week.
Yes.
Shabbat comes. Can you say, Rabbi, it's covered like flat, like plata?
No.
No. He has to cover it.
Yes.
So I tell one guy, you have to cover it. Chai?
Foil.
Huh?
With the foil.
With a foil. He goes bechor, he covers all the 4 platas of the 4 burners. He covers them before Shabbat. On Shabbat he puts Motzei Shabbat. Balabait calls him. He says, you owe me money. He was renting it, Airbnb. He says, you owe me money. So, what did I do? He says, you broke my oven.
Stove.
The stove top. So why? They said, you didn't see under the aluminum, the thing cracked up. Crack. Palamasa.
The glass.
He left like this. He left the apartment like this. Doesn't know that is what's under. He finds out why did it happen. The glass top is treated that it should take out the heat. When you cook on it, it gives to the oven, to the pot. Everything else goes out. Now he covered it. He made the heat go back into the glass, and the glass got heated up and cracked.
It's good it crack at least. There were no fire
Yeah.
in the whole building.
I told him you made a mistake. So you told me to cover. Told you to cover this part, not the whole entire thing.
Oh.
Wherever you put the pot, you don't use all 4. Why did you cover all 4? You should have let the air out for the heat not to stay inside and crack your glass. I didn't know you learned this lesson. $1,000 lesson. By Allah, you owes him the money or no?
Of course.
He broke it. He broke it. He cannot say, oh, I didn't know. What do you want me to do? I was anus. I was forced. You're not forced, nothing. You should have learned better
What was your money?
not to make these mistakes.
So I can put a pot on this, and on top of the pot,
Empty pot.
Huh?
You want to put empty pot, and on top of the empty pot to put the osvo before Shabbat. Yeah, you could. That's what Shulchan Aruch says. You need to cover, you make a change. For Shabbat, you got to make special. That the fire it's not regular. Now, Bechor, one time I went to a synagogue, Friday night. I come to the synagogue, and the guys come over there, see that I speak halakha, I know halakha. He comes to me, he says, Rabbi, can I talk to you on the side? What happened? Friday night, boy kala, boy kachudhoj. You're taking me from everybody. What happened? I said, Rabbi, you know, the rabbi over here, Devona, this guy, he doesn't want to listen to me. I said, I said, every Friday he puts the osvo for the morning, he leaves it on an open fire. Many times I tell him, not allowed, not allowed, not allowed. He doesn't listen to me. I said, listen, where did you learn? Shliapa, beard, where did you learn? I said, I learned by Ashkenazim. I said, that's why you say what you said. You Sephardi, why did you go and pass halachot like Ashkenazim? So what do you mean? I said, you learned Rabbi Ovadia Yosef also? I said, no. I said, I learned Mishnah Berurah, Ashkenazic the rules. I said, this is your mistake. You said the Gabbai is Rasha, meanwhile...
You are.
Also, on open fire, you can leave.
What did we just learn?
50%.
If you're gonna leave it for the morning and it was more than 50% cooked, you're allowed to leave it on an open fire or no? Not cooked, tadegi, cooked, edible.
Yes.
What Meir told us that the open fire will cook the meat, which is the longest one to cook, 1 hour. So if Shabbat came in at 7 o'clock and you put it at 6:30 on the fire, 7 o'clock already is going to be cooked halfway. So now you can remain, keep it in until the morning. Said, but you're not allowed to mix it until it's not going to become fully cooked. You're not allowed to open and close it until it becomes fully cooked.
And once you take
And
it
return it.
you can't do
What's
it.
the point of covering the fire then?
Covering the fire will allow you to
Return it.
return it. You'll allow you to open and close it
Mix
after
it
it's going to be 1 hour cooked because it's become fully cooked. Huh?
Should have went to this. They know what to do.
That's what, it's good that he was at least asking. Didn't make balagan arguments.
So he was putting before Shabbat, like yours.
Yeah, the Gabbai over there, whoever was in charge, was putting it before Shabbat.
Correct. And the Ashkenaz guy says,
So he said, Bukhari is Ashkenaz. He just learned by Ashkenaz.
correct.
He's Sephardi.
Right, don't put it in open fire. But
That's-
Ashkenazim won't be allowed, you say?
Ashkenazim have different halachot. This is not up for us to decide what their halachot is.
But they don't put it on open fire the way we
It's
do.
enough for us to stick to our halachot. We have a lot to do ourselves. Now comes Ovadia Yosef and says, I'll give you another reason why nowadays is more lenient. Not like it was by the days of Chazal. You know, in the days of Chazal, what did they deal with? Gas? Or did they dealt with coals? Coals. You know, the nature of coals, when you put it, if you don't move the ashes that it creates, it chokes the coal and it does not give good heat. So you constantly have to be busy with that. So Chachamim were worried if you're going to leave it on an open fire, you're not going to put yourself a reminder change to remind to the Shabbat. You're going to go and poke it like you do throughout the week. Says Ovadia, nowadays, when you put a knob, a number 3, number 4, number 5, whatever knob do we put, do you have to eat? It's going to become right now less. Let me play. Do you need that? Do you play with the fire? Huh? You put it and you leave it. Sure, you left. He says the whole fear of Chazal was that whenever you're going to leave it on coals. Nowadays we don't leave it on coals, charcoals, ugal.
А вот они что стали, замуровывали. Они же не трогали, она там так и горела же.
You asked me this last time and I answered you. They covered it. Inside they covered it.
Oshton.
I don't know Oshton, I never saw it, but it used to be covered.
Корпачи ставили.
No, on top. Cover the fire.
Fire was underneath, covered as it
Covered.
is. Yeah.
First you gotta cover fire, complete. I was a young man.
You saw it. They used to cover the fire.
Completely 10, 12 years old, and
They cover the fire.
absolutely
Sure.
first to cover.
You see,
And
yeah.
then korpacha, and then
Bukharis were machmir,
very.
like Halacha says.
They used to live in the houses.
Yeah.
And they had the
Very good.
outside burner.
Very good. So they follow the halacha. So says Ovadia, back in the day, used to be coals. So you needed to play with the fire in order to make it exist, and you needed to cover to remind you, Shabbat, don't go, don't touch it. But nowadays we don't have coals. Nowadays we deal with electricity and with gas. Electricity and gas, it's not something that dies out constantly that you have to worry about it. Therefore, the restriction of maybe you're going to come and poke the fire is much less nowadays. That's another reason why we could be lenient for Osuvot on Shabbat morning, even on open fire. We have another 3 reasons already. Maybe 50% is enough. Maybe Rabbi Ishaya said that for the morning there is no problem even with coals. And maybe nowadays the whole problem does not apply altogether because we deal with fire, not with coals. With gas, not with coals.
So cooked food, can I, daytime, can I put it on open fire to heat it up?
No. To return, right now we're talking about leaving it. It's called Shehiyah Astavit Yotam.
Right.
Before Shabbat. Your question is going to be the next topic of returning it on the open
Turning
fire.
it, correct. But
Returning it is more strict.
even if it's fully cooked,
Yeah. On the open fire, not allowed to
that's why you have to cover it.
cover it. ועוד יש לומר שלא גזרו על קירה חשמלית שלא הייתה בזמן חז"ל, וזה שונה הדין שם שדווקא בגחלים שדרכם לדעוך גזרו. אך לא גזרו שמא יוסיף עוד גחלים, ואילו בזמן הזה בחשמל וגז אין צריך לחטות, אין עוד דועך, ושמא יגביה האש, אבן גזירה חדשה, דו לא גזרו. Okay, Rabbi, maybe he put it on fire, bechor, he put the knob on 5. 5, number 5, number 6, whatever it is. There's knobs, right? Not numbers. He put it on number 5. Then you see, also pass mondam. I need to make it bigger now. Make it number 6. Moi mush lubi tadegi. My husband loves tadegi. Number 5 is just gonna cook it. It's not gonna become tadegi. When I was a child, my babul used to say, eat tadegi. Whoever eats tadegi stays tzadik for 40 days.
I don't think you're allowed.
I ate a lot of tadegi. That's what happened, you see.
I don't think you're allowed to bring it up for that.
Говорили, если любишь этот адыгею, на твоей свадьбе дождик будет.
A lot of the shtuyot they used to have, yeah.
Действительно был
А?
дом, я.
It did
У
rain,
нас
yeah?
такой дождь был, аж
Я
прям
люблю
через крышу
ош,
пробил.
и осово я всегда любил. Не,
Now, Bechol, listen to this. Can I change it on Shabbat from number 5, make the fire bigger, to number 6?
no.
Not allowed. By Torah, making the fire big. So says Ovadia, maybe we should tell people you're not allowed to leave it on an open fire. Why? Because maybe you're going to add the number from 5 to 6. You're going to increase the flame.
Right.
Says Ovadia, pay attention. Chazal were worried that you're going to bring more coals, or were worried that you're going to, the current fire is going to die out and you're going to play with that to revive it. What was the fear of Chazal? That you're going to add more fire, or you're going to make the existing fire stay longer?
Is it existing?
Existing. Fire to stay longer.
So we're not afraid that you may increase the flame. So therefore, don't tell me, oh, you're not allowed to leave it on open fire because you might increase it. Chazal were not worried about it. And we learned yesterday that after Chazal sealed the Talmud, how many years ago we said Chazal sealed the Talmud? 1600 years ago. Remember or no?
Let's say 1,000, 1,600 years.
1600 years ago, Talmud Bavli was sealed
Sealed.
in Babel. Babel, where is it? Iraq nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
One time, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef came to one Ashkenaz rabbi. He was young, 18, 19 years old. Chacham, unbelievable. One Ashkenazi rabbi sees him learning Gemara. He tells, what? Sephardi people learn Gemara? He thought only Ashkenazim learn Gemara. This is Ashkenaz rabbi. So Ovadia Yosef says, Rabbi, do you learn Gemara? Of course. Every day, every morning we learn Gemara. Did you learn the first page of the Gemara? He says, well, of course. I say, every single page of every single Shas? Yes. And you didn't realize what it says on the first page? What? It says Talmud Bavli. What is Bavli? From Babel. What is Babel, Iraq, where I came from? So before you're questioning Sephardi learn Gemara, the source of the Gemara came from the Sephardi.
Exactly.
So don't put down the Sephardim. Sephardim are genius in Gemara.
That's right, it's supposed to be.
Okay. Now says Ovadia, so therefore, Ovadia Yosef Psak Halacha gives that the fire, Bechor, on the open fire, you're allowed to leave it for the morning for 3 reasons, as you just explained. Maybe after 50% cook, you have no problem to leave it, even on Friday, for Friday night. And even if you're going to say it's a problem, maybe for Shabbat morning it's not a problem. And even if you say for Shabbat morning it is a problem, maybe that was on coals. Nowadays we don't deal with coals, we deal with gas or electricity. So therefore the reason to allow it becomes even more reasonable. Got it? Very good. Achmin, you understood? Kol hakavod. Now, question 2, Bechor. Whenever we put cover fire, right? Let's say, right, so far we spoke about open fire. Now, what happens if I want to cover the fire, but I don't have fully covered material? I have material that has holes. Metal, but it has holes. Can I put the fire covered with holes? It's not 100% covered.
Что, колс? Что здесь?
Дырочки.
Holes, Bechor.
Вот это блэх есть же, железка, которая
Да.
есть с дырочками. Вот это
Это
можно?
считается, что open fire.
So some of the flames goes out here, goes out there. Some of it covered, some of it is not covered.
Yeah.
One time a person goes to vacation, he calls me. He says, Rabbi, I'm stuck over here. I don't have what to cover the fire with. I said, listen, do you have, there are some people put a metal on the table in order to put the pot on it.
Yeah.
You saw this?
Yeah, yeah.
He has some design, tako, he has that. but it's not fully covered. It's not black at the close. He has like a design. He has holes here. He has holes there. But overall, it's covered. Majority, it's covered. I asked him, "Do you have such a metal there?" He says, "Yes." I says, "Take that metal, put it on the fire."
And then on top of that, you could put.
But I still see the flames. Habibi, it's not we're talking about immodesty, a naked lady that you cannot see anything over there. You could see. The whole idea is to put yourself reminder. It's not for you to block the fire fully. And I cannot see. No, you could see. The whole idea, says the Rashba, פח המפסיק נחשב קירה גרופה וכתומה, שאפילו לא כתם כל צורכו, says the Rashba. Even if you did not fully cover the fire, share, it's allowed. כיוון שכתם קצת, as long as a little bit you covered, kasher. Why? Because the whole idea was reminder. והחזון איש כתב, this Rav Ovadia Yosef says, against the Chazon Ish. Chazon Ish was Ashkenazi rabbi. He says that the reason why we cover the fire is to reduce the heat. So if it's not going to be fully covered, it's not going to reduce the heat. Chazon Ish disagrees. Rav Ovadia Yosef says, I'm sorry, Chazon Ish, you lived 60 years ago. We have Rashba that lived 700 years ago. Who are we going to listen to, him or to you? Chazon Ish was limited with the amount of books he had. Rabotai, you know how many books Rabbi Ovadia Yosef had? 40,000 books. 40,000 books he knew by heart. That's what people say. 40,000.
Who's that?
Rabbi Ovadia Yosef.
What do you say we know?
Every single book Bechor that was in the world, out of print, he used to have. He used to be very poor. You know that Bechor? Beginning of his life, he had 9 kids living in 1-bedroom apartment. 1-bedroom apartment, 9 kids. It says at nighttime, the kids need to go sleep. He wants to keep the lights on to learn Torah. I have to mishait him, light, and they have to wake up school. They say the story that he goes under the table. There's a table cover. Under that, he puts a lamp, and he studies Torah underneath. So I'm going to study and not going to bother my kids from sleeping. He was so poor that whenever he used to take off speaker, please. Boris, take off speaker, please. Whenever they used to have money, a little bit money he had, he used to go to the bookstores, buy books. He used to hide it over here like this. Come home, his wife should not see. Because she has no room already in the house with the books. Our kids need other things. His love was not for anything, just for Torah. It was, for him, the most important thing.
Как он так мог не смотреть на свой family?
He's not nismatrel. He's matrel, but extra this, extra that. Let's be rutsa. His love was not normal for Torah. It was not normal love for Torah. It was above and beyond. So he said Chazon Ish was limited with the amount of books he didn't have. He was genius, Chazon Ish. It's a recording, that's why. The Chazon Ish was genius, but he's genius in Gemara. Rav Ovadia Yosef says he was genius. Это не простой человек про него говорит, подхалим ничего делать. Be'emet was genius, Chazon Ish.
Chazon Ish was Sephardic, I'm sorry.
No, Chazon Ish was Ashkenaz.
Ashkenaz.
Bnei Brak Jew.
What's his real name?
Karelitz. Last name Karelitz. Rabbi Ishaya Karelitz. Chazon Ish.
He's not Sephardic.
How come? I don't know. He's Ashkenaz. Ovadia Yosef says, but because he was limited with the books, he didn't see this Rashba. Rashba is a book that was written 700 years ago by Rabbi Shlomo ben Aderet. Rabbi Shlomo ben Aderet, Rashba. Sam Glavne Rishon on. Sam of Soki, top. And he said, everybody that will see what he writes, Baruch Bar Shemo, Amen. Nobody argues. Rashba is the top one. So Rabbi Yosef says, if Chazon Ish would see the words of the Rashba said that you need to cover the fire a little bit. So you see, he didn't say you have to cover the fire completely, fully. A little bit. Why? Because the whole idea is not to reduce the heat. The whole idea is to remind you today is Shabbat. When you come to a kitchen of somebody, you woke up in the morning, you don't remember what day of the week it is. You walk into the kitchen, you see plata. What do you know? What day is it today? Right away. You come to Bet Knesset, you don't know today. You see the Chulent. What do you say right away? Shabbat. It says that's the whole idea was to cover the fire, to use a reminder, not to reduce the heat level. So therefore, even if you have parts of the cover, it has holes, kasher. Even the majority is open. Rashba says ktsat. What is ktsat in Hebrew?
Little.
A little bit. A little bit is covered, kasher.
Next.
Now what about the knobs? Huh? My dear friend,
No, надо
I'm
ручку.
not going to mention name.
Надо убирать ручку.
So Moshe Feinstein says it's good to cover the handle, the knob also. Good. Is it mandatory or is it good?
No,
Good.
it's just good.
If you go to Bechor's home and suddenly you're going to see that it's not covered, don't say, Bechor, Mechalet Shabbat. No, don't say that. Because according to Halakha, it's just good to cover the knobs. But what's the main thing to cover?
The fire.
The fire.
Part, yeah.
Fahmidim?
Вот эту ручку можно снимать, чтобы на шаббат никто не юзал.
You could. I would recommend you also to take it off. In my house, many times, the kids move and they move the knob. Many times it happens. So it's good to take it out before Shabbat, and like this, you're not going to have Dardisar Osovosoch, Osovo Nisrael. Either too hot or either too cold becomes.
Basically for Shabbat, Sephardic people taking, for example, they take to the house the oven, small oven, for the family, that they have a Shabbat, and they invited catering. Majority people Ashkenazi, but the owner of the home is
Sephardi.
Yeah, and
We go after the owner.
yeah. So he's putting the electric in
Yeah. Before Shabbat, you put the electrical on.
all that
Yeah, no problem.
food in the oven,
No problem.
and that's it, no problem.
No problem. ועוד שבפלטה חשמלית אין אפשרות להגביה חום כלל. It says also before when you buy plata for Shabbat, better not to buy that has knobs. Better to get the one that plug in, plug out. So, like this, you're not going to be able to move it.
Not to play with.
It's better to buy such a plata. In America, there is the plata from Israel, and there's a plata they sell in America, made in America. The one that is made in America has knobs, because it's not meant for Yehudim. It's meant for everybody. Goyim, Chinese, Spanish, everybody buys that. It's a hot plate, they call it. For Jewish people, it's better to get plata of Shabbat. In the American, in Israel, it doesn't have a knob. Just plug in, plug out. So that's better one. Yaakov, you understood?
Everybody can afford it.
It's cheaper.
Not about
А
buying.
как она температура одинаково держит?
Одинаково.
Сколько?
I don't know.
Это плата.
How much it's, I don't know.
Plata.
Plata, yeah, plata shel Shabbat.
Right.
It's better, Ovadia says, it's better to get plata that doesn't have knobs.
Oh, correct. No.
No, in America, there's many platas that have knobs.
Вот Рав, а если газ покрытый вот этой железкой?
Fire.
Fire покрытый
Yeah.
железкой? Вот так.
Yeah. But you gotta make better to take out the knobs or cover it. Better, nizakon. Better.
Well, right now,
So whenever you buy plata, better to get plata that doesn't have knobs. So, nizakon. If you have the one with knobs, no problem. But better to cover. If you have the knobs, cover it. Просто личный тардисар, каждую пятницу его cover каждый раз.
a lot of people using a separate electric oven. That's it.
You could, yeah. You could.
There's no fire,
נכון, you could.
no problem.
בסדר. Some people prefer that, some people prefer that. You're right. This both ways is good. Now, question two, Bechor. When you have the electrical elements in the plata, רחמין, שמו ברכת המזון מכונית. מכונית, עוזר מירי, punch me. When you have this electrical plata, you have the coils inside.
On the gas stove?
No, regular plug-in plata.
No,
Plug-in.
סידורוסי.
המים האחרונים שלי.
it's different. Also,
Is that considered to be open fire or closed fire?
Вот это?
Plata, который у вас дома, plata шель шаббат есть? Plug in, plug out.
Covered.
So close
Is it considered to
fire.
be covered fire
Fire, covered.
or open fire?
Cover?
Rabbi Mashash. You heard about him? Rabbi Mashash.
No.
He was the chief rabbi of Morocco. When Rabbi Ovadia Yosef became chief rabbi of Israel, he needed power because there was many people that were no chachamim. Especially Sephardim, there was very low level of Torah. Ashkenazim, many Torah. Sephardim, many of them didn't have knowledge of Torah. They followed Shabbat, Kashrut. They were followers. They were not knowledgeable, many of them. So he called Rabbi Mashash from Morocco. He spoke to the government to give him a job in Israel from the Rabbanut. He was a big rabbi. He said, Rabbi Mashash, he has a book called Shemesh Umagen. He writes in his book that also Or LeZion, they said that this plata is considered to be open fire. Why? Because it says the electrical elements
Go up and down.
and the metal that covers it, it's screwed in together. It's one piece.
But we can see.
So if you want to return to that, you're not allowed to.
It's like open.
It's like you're returning on the open fire.
Right.
That's their opinion.
That's why I saw it with.
What do you gotta do? Gotta cover it with falga before Shabbat
That's
or on
why-
Shabbat.
Yeah, I saw
Cover
that.
it with a foil, then you're allowed to return.
Yeah, better read who using is that.
Comes Rabbi Yosef says, they are wrong. Do you see the metal getting hot?
No.
No.
Yeah,
The cover itself, it doesn't get red hot. What gets red hot?
On the bottom part.
The element on the bottom. The fact that the metal covering the electrical coils, it's considered to be covered fire. You don't need to put extra cover of falga over a foil. You don't need to. And he says another thing. I said, what was the whole reason that we need this plata? Why can't I leave it on a regular fire? Lishne raschot, lishne vesh, why do you need it for? Says Ovadia, because we need to remind you today is Shabbat, no? It says, what's the name of this plata? Plata shel Shabbat. Just the fact that the plata is out, you already know today is Shabbat.
Correct.
The whole idea was to remind you not to play with the fire, no? Jay, you look at the plata, you already know today is Shabbat. You're not going to come and end up and playing with the fire.
What kind of stuff you have for Shabbat
Huh?
at your home?
With my home plata. Regular plata.
Completely.
Yeah, the detached plata.
That's it. So
You plug it
don't-
in, plug it out.
You don't play with the fires.
No,
anything.
the best. That's the best way to
You
do
need
it.
Okay, based on this, can you put a plaque on top of the stove?
Why it's important? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Why it's important to know this reason? Bechor says Ovadia. What about this crock pot? You see this crock pot? Вот в этой коробке там внутри есть crock pot. You see, they made a box for it. You know why? By Jewish law, if you leave goyim around here, and they might open and put something not kosher on Shabbat or mix it or whatever, turn on, turn off, you're not allowed to. It's considered to be meat that you lost track of. בשר שנתעלם מן העין.
что там в коробке?
Там внутри is dig,
Crackpot.
crock pot. They made a box and they locked it. The goy don't know the code. So you cannot open, cannot close. וזה closed like this.
Last question.
Hold on. Friday night, a person wants to put before Shabbat, inside this crock pot, he wants to put fish. He has a big party, a lot of people, not enough room on the plata. He wants to put more fish before Shabbat on this crock pot to be hot. Salat сначала подам, потом fish. I'll take out from here. Allowed or no?
No,
Why?
because over there is hot,
It is hot, yeah. But you don't see the fire there.
but fires is there.
Huh?
Fires is there.
Look what Rabbi Yosef said. Unbelievable. How is this different than plata of Shabbat? Plata of Shabbat, you have coils,
Yeah.
you have the metal, it's one piece. Here, the same thing. You have coils, you have the metal covered it, it's one piece. Why plata I can leave fish from Friday night for Shabbat table? And this is no, this mukines. What's the difference? Says Ovadia, during the week, goyim, the whole world, cook on plata of Shabbat or not?
No.
It's special for Shabbat. Crock pot, in English they call it slow cooker. Only Jewish people use this, or the whole world uses this? Only on Shabbat or all week also? So for that to be used for Friday night, you have to cover. This is for you, Bechor. On Shabbat you had that question. If you want to use this on Shabbat for Friday night, you need to put falga inside and make a change. I cover the fire. Even if you're going to call it like an open fire that I use during the week also, Goyim use it, the world uses it during the week also. By you covering with the falga, with the aluminum foil, it's considered to be closed fire. So then you will be allowed to use it on Friday night, and you also will be allowed to open on Shabbat morning, stir it, because sometimes the meat goes on the bottom, the heavy things. Yeah. The heavy things goes on the bottom, the light things goes on top. To serve like that, it's not good. So people want to stir it, mix it before they serve. Are you allowed to mix it when it's inside the insert, inside the metal thing?
Like I was doing.
As I'm telling you, I'm calling your name. I'm giving you hints. Bezanam goyam kelinam fama.
We're not allowed.
But when you are allowed to,
You have to put something
Cover.
underneath.
very good. Whenever you put cover falga on the bottom and it's exposed on outside, so you can see difference. And hold on. And then you will be allowed to mix it because fully cooked it is, covered fired it is now, so no problem.
But it's covered.
What if I don't have falga right now? I don't have aluminum foil, and I want to mix it? Take it out, mix it. Now it's off the fire. Off the fire, no problem to mix.
But you cannot put it back.
Two components.
But you will not be allowed to put it back
It's two
because it doesn't have covered falga, covered aluminum foil.
Okay.
By a plata, you said you don't need a falga. You said it's considered to be covered. Why over here you need? Because plata is only for Shabbat. Plata shel Shabbat nazavaita. This is not called crockpot shel Shabbat. This is called crockpot slow cooker, not how you use it.
What it's known
What's
for.
the name of it? What is known for?
А если вот на железке?
Shit на шаббат не
Вот что вот стоит на железке?
Bechor, I'm very sorry. I know you are older maybe, but he was first.
Okay.
He had a
It's
question.
okay.
You good? You got it?
The question was, if you have a housekeeper,
Housekeeper. Goya.
well, yeah, and on Shabbat, and she knows what to do, whatever the owner doesn't do on Shabbat.
Yeah.
So she can do that or not?
You have to ask me a specific question because certain things she allowed, certain things not allowed. Ask me what example. You have an example?
She can't cook for you.
Right. She cannot cook for you.
No, she's not cooking. Can she turn off the fire?
Turn off if it could be a fire hazard, like kids playing around, things fly. It could chas v'shalom break a fire. Then she's allowed to turn it off. Or it's extremely hot in the house.
She's hot, and then she.
She's hot and she turn it off. Then
Fire
allowed.
from a swore, for example, after dinner,
Yeah.
Shabbat dinner. She can,
Shabbat lunch,
right, Shabbat
not dinner. Shabbat lunch, morning.
Yeah, Shabbat lunch.
Yeah.
She can turn off the fire?
That's exactly the answer. Depends on what's the situation in the house. Was one time I used to live in an apartment, my kids used to play in the kitchen. There was fire over there. Every time I was afraid. Что-то не улетело этот огонь.
Right.
Every time.
This time
If I would have a goya, can I ask the goya to turn it off or no?
А secretion, no secretion.
No passigation, напрямую. Say this fire is dangerous. I don't need it.
She can, yes.
Like a chalk outside, you going outside, it's the same thing.
The same thing. So it depends on the situation. If it's just because you want to save money, that's not allowed to.
No.
But if it's because it's too hot in the house, kitchen, here, or it's dangerous because the fire is exposed, and chas v'shalom something can fall on top, and Hashem Yerachem, this building das vidanya buji. So you got to be careful with that. Then you tell a guy hint. You say, I don't need this fire anymore. It's dangerous. You know what to do.
Напрямую нельзя говорить, выключу.
Yeah, Bechor, what's your question? Last question.
Close fire, что
Yeah.
он стоит. Я могу это убрать, помешать и обратно поставить.
Because the fire is closed. That's what we said.
Yeah.
You need two conditions.
Наверху можно мешать,
Нет.
if it's covered.
Yeah, if it's covered. Two things you need.
Если он закрыт.
Covered fire and fully cooked.
Yes.
When those two conditions fulfilled, you're allowed to mix it on the plata. You don't need to remove it. Same thing the crock pot. If you covered it with falga, with
Соль вы
oil,
говорили, нельзя туда сыпать или перец.
our salt, the cheap one, it's already cooked. And there is no cooking after cooking. Therefore, you're allowed to add it when it's on the fire also.
Красная соль, она же не cooking, нет?
The sea salt is not cooked. Malinian, mountain который. This is not cooked. They take a rock and they grind it. This is not cooked. You cannot add it when the pot is on the fire. Asur.
Когда убрал,
If you remove it, then you're allowed to. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen.